Let's go. What's up, everyone? Back again. Loaded episode. A lot of shit's been going on. Baseball has kind of been exciting for one team for the first time ever. Not really, but we're going to get just right into it. Tony Larussa, all right. Yerman Mercedes hit a home run off of a position player on a 3-0 count. What was the score? 15-2 or 15-4 at the time.
Something stupid. 14-5, 15-3, something crazy.
No, they're up double digits.
15-4 maybe.
So he hits that home run. Tony Larussa kind of calls him out and says that, like, basically agrees with the unwritten rules, which is like baseball is the dumbest fucking thing ever with that, how they have unwritten rules. Like it makes no fucking sense. But Tony LaRussa kind of agreed with the quote unquote unwritten rule, said that he should not have, fucking swung at that. It's a position player. People got mad the next night. He got thrown at by a reliever. And it's all just kind of fucking stupid. LaRussa has like doubled down. He's basically continued to say that he agrees with the Twins. Hey, Judy. And then,
Hi, Judy.
And then, what was it?
It's my roommate.
Yeah, she got me fucking distracted. Wow. Then today, because Rodon, was it Rodon or?
No, it was Lance Lynn.
Lance Lynn was like, basically I back him. And
he's like, there's no unwritten rule in baseball once it's a position player on the mound.
Yeah, and LaRussa was like, I have an office job. He has a player job.
He has a locker.
Like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, he's like, he goes, I have an office. He has a locker.
It's insane to me that his players are like still okay with him. They like people were on Instagram Live and they were like talking with him, like being cool with him. It's absurd to me. Maybe behind the scenes he said, "Look, I'm gonna be like this to the public, but I don't give a fuck."
Yeah, I mean,
that's like the only thing that makes sense to me of why like the players are like cool with everything he's fucking doing and don't really give a shit.
What's he supposed to do? I mean, not swing the bat, just like.
Oh, you're talking about Mercedes? Yeah,
what? What's the difference on 3-0 or 3-1?
They're saying because in baseball, when you're up, the unwritten rule is when you're up 10 plus runs, that you shouldn't be trying to run up the score on your opponent. Like Tatis got yelled at for it last year.
Didn't Chris Bryant hit a grand slam? It was when they were really good.
But the thing is, what makes zero sense is
the manager not backing you.
Yeah. No. What makes zero sense is like, how the fuck do you expect a major league player? Yerwin Mercedes is a like 28-year-old rookie. So every stat for him matters. And I'm sure there's multiple guys you could put in that position. Their eyes are gonna get big when a fucking position player is playing pitcher. They're gonna go for it. Like, how is he at fault for that? Like, it just makes no fucking sense. And
well, also like
LaRussa's a moron, but like, I don't know. Like I said, I think something more is behind this where like his players must obviously be okay with something, because this just makes no fucking sense.
I mean, Tim Anderson's been vocal on Instagram Live, everything, like backing Mercedes.
If Mercedes does it again, if there's somehow a situation like that, like that proves a point. Like LaRussa behind the scenes was just like, I don't give a fuck.
He was benched. Like he legit was benched.
I thought he started.
No, he was benched for Billy Hamilton and then pinch hit in the 7th, and that's when the Twins threw at him.
So he only batted once yesterday. See, he
was benched.
Fucking Clint. No, he started. He had 4 at bats yesterday and 2 hits.
Oh, the White Sox had no tweet yesterday saying
no. That was Clint was correct. Then I retract my statement. No, fuck Clint. That wasn't the White Sox. That was one of those burner accounts that like acted like they were the White Sox reporting. That's what I saw too. And then I looked.
I was about to say because that's like
because he got asked what they were going to do and he said it's internal. We're not going to talk about it. So.
Oh, okay. I was wrong.
Like, do you guys think the White Sox can win a World Series with LaRussa as a manager?
No. I don't even think that's a question. I just think it's like a fact.
I think they're that good that they can. They're literally like their rotation is filthy.
I think they're great right now, but I also think they're over exceeding every expectation in terms of starting pitching.
Like who was the manager before? Who was the manager before Larussa?
Oh, that guy sucked.
He coached the Cubs.
Yeah, when the Cubs were horrible, he was horrible. It's a step. Like I don't care what anyone says. Larussa's a little better than him.
Yeah. I mean, Larussa knows the game. He doesn't fit their mold because they're such a young core and group.
Like that's that's really the guy you go after. You're like, you think, man, we got the guys in
the that's all the owner.
A guy that's pushing 80 years old.
That's all the owner. That's all
2 or 3 DUIs.
It's just so stupid.
The owner probably made the call to Larussa, and once Larussa was like, "Yeah, I'll come," the owner's like, "All right, stop your guys' like interviewing process. I got my guy." But like, yeah, their starting pitching is probably over or has exceeded expectations. But like, Giolito pitched a gem today, but in reality, he hasn't pitched that well, and he's supposed to be there.
Yeah, right now he's their 4th best pitcher.
So like, I think
3rd, 4th.
I think it balances itself out. So like that one right there. Then you throw in.
Mean, the biggest toss up is Rodon.
Yeah, but then like if Rodon sucks, like you still have Giolito, and then like Kopech can fucking start by the time playoffs come around. And then on top of that, they have been so injury bugged. And they're hitting like that's only gonna get better. They're playing guys who would never play in lineups who can't fucking hit. So like I think it will even itself out. But I do think they're that good that they could win it. I don't know. I don't really like any baseball team, but like I follow the White Sox the most. I almost don't want them to win because I don't want Tony La Russa to get like any credit at all because he's such a douchebag. But then it's like you don't really root for your team to.
Yeah,
they're pitching. I mean, you have Rodon, Lance, Lynn, and Cease, who have all been legit filthy. I mean, Lance Lynn had a short stint on the IL, but I mean, Rodon literally went from being DFA'd, had to earn a job in camp, like he was a minor league deal. Yeah, made the team in camp. Former 1st-round pick, recovering from Tommy John, and literally threw a no-hitter, lost a perfect game because he hit a guy in the foot.
Yeah,
in the 9th, like that's what he's done is very impressive. He's already now like 3 through 6 or 7 starts.
They even have Dallas Keuchel. Like,
yeah, Dallas Keuchel's probably been the worst pitcher.
ERA wise, yes, but like Rodon and Lance Lynn both have sub 2 ERAs. Cease has a 2.41, Giolito 4.35. Before I think going into today he had a over 5, and then Keuchel's a 4.44. So like those are 5 great pitchers. That's not even.
Oh yeah, their pitching has been insane.
So I could see them going to like the ALCS and then losing. I feel like that's just how young teams are. That they'll make a run in the playoffs the first year, and then the next year they'll really push for a World Series.
They're not that young though. Like. All their young.
Have any of them played in the playoffs?
They played last year, but then like Jose Abreu's old as fuck. Keuchel won a World Series. Giolito's not young. Lance Lynn is old as shit. Rodon is old as shit. Cease's pretty young, right?
Yeah, he came from the Cubs.
Cease is 24, 25.
Okay, so Cease, out of their starting pitchers, Cease is the only guy who you could consider young. They're hitting. Tim Anderson is not a young guy. He's been in the league for multiple years. Jose Abreu is basically a grandpa on that fucking team. Yasmin Grandal is old as shit. Like they have a lot of guys who are not old at all.
I wouldn't say they're young. It's playoff experiences when it comes down to that. Then
yeah, that's kind of.
I agree, but they're not young. Like guys who are. 28, I never said they were young. No, I know. I'm saying guys who are 28 can perform in the playoffs. It won't give them like a problem.
Yeah.
Like guys who are 24 and it's like their second year in the league, then they go to the playoffs. It's a completely different game. But I feel like a guy who's 28 who like has been around the block, that it might give them a problem. But like I wouldn't say they're really that. I mean. Yeah, Zach Collins is 26. Like Yermin Mercedes is 28. He's a rookie, but he's 28. Jose Abreu is 34. Tim Anderson's 27. Like Nick Madrigal, he's very young. Yohan Moncada, he's very young. But then you throw in like Adam Eaton has been around the block.
He won a
World Series. Lori Garcia has been around the block. Billy Hamilton's not going to play a lot. We all know that, but he's been around the block. So like I wouldn't really say they're that young. Honestly, all the players that are hurt are really the young guys. Like none of the players who play now, other than Moncada and Madrigal, are really none of them are really young. Andrew Vaughn, I guess, is young, but I mean, their average age of their field right now is their youngest guy is 24, and that's Nick Madrigal. Like Anderson, Abreu, Jake Lamb's old, Danny Mendick's old, Eaton, Garcia, Hamilton. So I wouldn't say they're that young, but I mean, you never know. Like
sometimes young is not. Sometimes not always with age too. It's with like when they broke in. If maybe Ryan meant it that way. I don't know if he did or not.
Yeah, but like all these guys, except for Mercedes, and the guys who I said were young, have been in the league for multiple years. Like you're looking at Adam Eaton has been here for fucking ever. Tim Anderson has been the starting shortstop for this is like his 7th year. That's not being broken in young.
I'm not saying Anderson at all.
They're the guys who got hurt though, who will start. Those guys are young. Yeah, I mean, who even got hurt? It was
Luis Robert and Eloy Jimenez.
Yeah, which Eloy's. I mean, you got to think he's going to be a DH. That dude is just a fucking
he's out 4 or 5
hazard in the outfield. All right, let's move on.
Kinda.
What?
I said kinda.
I mean,
being a hazard. Yeah,
it is. Honestly,
he's an awful fielder.
It's insane how bad he is.
Wait, did they play in the playoffs last year?
Yeah, they lost the Athletics.
Oh.
They should have won. I think they were leading in every game. Their bullpen was horrible last year. That was like
Liam Hendricks was a huge signing for them. Well, what's nice too is they can throw Kopech out of the pen right now.
Yes, and then in the playoffs, like their starting 5 is ridiculous. Even if one of them falls off, they're going to move to the bullpen and will probably still be pretty effective.
Yeah, there are 3 for the playoffs. I'm assuming will probably go Giolito, Rodon, and Lance Lynn. I bet they put Cease in the bullpen.
Which is a guy who you can throw for 4 to 5 innings out of the pen, and then you throw in Kopech's same fucking thing. And
they're guys. If your starter's getting hit in the first or second, you're down like 1-0 with 2 guys on pace. You just pull the plug and pull the starter and throw in one of them.
Yeah, and then they have where is it?
Liam Hendricks
yeah. Crochet has a .77 ERA, and then
he was just in college just last year.
Wait, Danny Mendick pitched an inning. Holy shit! Your mom Mercedes pitched an inning too.
Earlier this year, I think.
Yeah, he let up 1 run.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of funny. All right, moving on. Let me pull up what we're about to fucking talk about. Actually, let's go to NBA playing real quick. Do you guys like it? Like, so, I mean, I'm going to say what I do and don't like about it real quick, and then you guys can kind of just talk about it. So, I don't like how the 7 seed plays. I think that's fucking stupid, especially like in both situations. The 7 seed was like 8 games ahead of the 10 seed. Like, I don't think they should be playing if they're 8 games ahead of the 10 seed. That's just pointless. And but like 8, 9, 10, I think it's like I like that situation, I guess. I think it should be 8, 9, 10, or even go to the bubble rule where if they're within 3 games, then they play 1. That's my thought on it. Honestly, other than that, I don't really mind it. I think it's just more basketball and more money for everyone. But what do you guys think about it?
At first, I didn't really understand how it worked. I didn't realize that the 7-8, whoever wins that game immediately goes to the 7th seed. And then the loser of that game faces the loser of 9-10. I had no idea it was that situation until literally last night when the Pacers won and the Wizards lost, and now the Pacers are playing the Wizards. So I get it. It makes sense. It's kind of, I mean, I guess it's nice too, because like obviously tonight the Lakers and Warriors play at 7 and 8. So either if LeBron loses or Steph Curry loses, you get to see them one more night try to make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why they did it in that scenario of why it's playing like that.
Wait. Say that again.
Of like why the play-in's like that.
Like what?
7 plays 8.
Because LeBron and Steph?
No, I'm saying like 7 plays 8, so 7 goes, and then 8 gets another chance.
I'm confused. Why do you think they did that though? Like,
I'm saying I think they did it so that 8 gets another chance, because technically the 8 would always make the playoffs.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying.
I was just using the example of Steph LeBron.
Yeah, but they had no clue that those two were going to be the same.
No, I'm just saying I use that example.
Okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah. All right. Sorry. Go on.
I just don't. I don't understand. How is it a playing game if you lose and you're not out yet? That's not a playing game.
I agree completely.
So I agree with it. It's just, I think it's all about money and more basketball, and
like it should be 9 versus 10. Winner that plays the 8, and whoever wins that is the 8 seed.
Yeah.
I
agree with.
I
would agree with that too.
If it's not broke, don't fix it. And I think the 1 versus 8 is just fine.
Well, that's what it's gonna be.
I know, but having extra games, and like if you want to be in the playoffs, just win your games. Then you don't have to be in that situation.
I think they did it just to factor in like the teams sometimes that would come in 9th or 10th because of a crucial injury at some point during the season.
I don't mind the play-in. I don't think the 7 should be in it. And but like I think the 8 should play the 9 or 10. I think 100%, because I think more times than not the 8 probably finishes 2-3 games or less above the 9 and 10 seed. And I agree with you, Zach. I think a lot of times it comes down, like the Spurs, for example, were like the 5 seed. Then they got hit with COVID, and they've been horrible since. Like, okay, so the Spurs are 9 games behind the Lakers. Why the fuck should the Lakers have to play in a play-in, potentially playing the Spurs?
Lakers went from 2 to the 7th seed during LeBron and AD's injuries.
Yes, but 9 games back. That is so fucking stupid. But Golden State and Memphis at 8 and 9 are 1 game apart.
Yeah.
Like, I think you should have to be a certain amount of games apart, which
I
would meet the requirement. But like I just think the 7 seed's fucking stupid.
I mean, the Lakers are still the second favorite to win the NBA Finals, and they're gonna be a 7 seed.
Right.
Like, that's not normal.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I could see the 8 and 9, but
I wish we could have discussed the Kendrick comment a few weeks back, but that's another story.
Next thing you know, you're gonna see like 6 versus 11.
No, I think they'll get rid of the 7 playing after this year, to be honest with you. Because like in reality, the Lakers were tied with the 5 seed. So it's like, why the fuck is a team tied with the 5 seed playing in a playing game? It's not, like you said, though, it's not even a playing game. There's no elimination factor in it.
Also, the Clippers are pussies for losing on purpose.
It didn't even affect them, though. That's what I don't understand.
Well, people are saying they lost their last 2 games, so they couldn't try to take over from the Suns, I heard. What was the difference in games?
They're 5 games back of the Suns.
Oh, I didn't know it was that much. Never mind.
No, that's not at all what people were saying. People were saying that they didn't want the 3 seed because if the Lakers somehow got the 6 seed with the Trailblazers losing, they'd play Lakers round 1.
Oh.
But it didn't even matter because the Lakers are the 7 seed, so it didn't matter at all. But now they're gonna just have to, like, would you rather play Dallas or Portland round 1?
Dallas.
Ryan?
Dallas. I don't know. Damian just, he's in the playoffs, he's scary. I mean, it's a different gear, I think.
Isn't Luka like 1 technical away from getting suspended a game?
Yeah. Well, I don't know how that works for the carryover factor, but he was going into the final game of the regular season. I don't know. I might almost rather play Portland, to be honest, because Portland plays 0 defense, so you can always score 130 points on them.
That's true.
Like Dallas, Rick Carlisle is a 10 times better coach than Terry Stotts, whatever the fuck his name is. And then like Damian Lillard's very good, yes, but like I don't know. I feel like Luka
wasn't McCollum hurt a lot of the year too?
He was hurt. I don't know about a lot, but I think Luka can take over a game more than Damian Lillard can. Damian Lillard can score more for sure and heat it up, but like
Luka just is a factor because of the rebounding and like passing too.
Damian Lillard has to score like 60 for me to be really afraid of the Trailblazers ever. All right, moving on. Let's go to.
Wait, before we leave, the Pelicans, Kings, and Bulls all finished 2 games out of the playing games that we just put them in. They're close enough.
Bulls are another team that kind of hurt him at the end with injuries and shit with Zach LaVine.
Or Adam Silver just needs to make a special rule just to get Zion into the playoffs.
See, I totally.
They kind of did that last year too.
Because but they didn't even make it.
I know. Well, they tried to get him in there, but they couldn't.
They were they're so bad.
They were awful in the bubble, weren't they?
They were awful.
Yeah, they were really bad.
Yeah, they were really bad.
Suns were the team that were amazing in the bubble.
Wasn't last year when like Zion was like in load management as like a 19-year-old? It's like, what are we doing here?
He also came into the season with a knee injury.
Well, yeah,
but like
load management is because he's on a minute restriction, and he can't play back to backs.
Yeah, when you have bad,
like you don't want to play your franchise player on a back to back when you have no chance of making the playoffs and you have all the risk of blowing his knee out.
Dude, he's so good.
But all right, let's move on. So Zach sent a tweet to us.
Oh yeah, let me pull it up.
It was top 10 head coaches according to CBS Sports. Number 1, Nick Saban. Number 2, Dabo Swinney. Number 3, Lincoln Riley. Number 4, Ryan Day. Number 5, Brian Kelly. Number 6, Jimbo Fisher. Number 7, Kirby Smart. Number 8, Pat Fitzgerald. Number 9, Matt Campbell. Number 10, Dan Mullen. Okay. I think we all can agree 1 and 2 are spot on.
Yes.
Nick Saban and Dabo, both. Dabo is definitely behind Nick Saban, but they are definitely 1-2. Yes. Anyone who thinks Dabo is a better coach than Nick Saban is a moron. But Dabo is clearly, I don't even think there's a discussion, the number 2 coach in college football. Now, Lincoln Riley at 3 is so fucking stupid. This guy gets more credit for doing nothing than anyone in college football. Okay, he wins Heisman's.
I was just going to say he only gets it because they're quarterback you. That's
he basically runs a Hawaii-themed offense just in a bigger conference. So when these team guys put up these stats, they win the Heisman. But it's like as if Colt Brennan, RIP, was slinging it for Hawaii, but instead of it being Hawaii, it's Oklahoma playing Texas. That's the only reason why these guys win the Heisman. Only reason. And he got blown out against Bama when he went to the playoffs. He did play Georgia tough. I'll give him that one, but he still lost the game.
That was probably the one game where they should have won and they choked.
He still lost the game, but
and he got blown out by LSU. But LSU was a wagon that year.
Yes, I was just about to say. Yeah, then he got blown out by LSU. Now, do I think he's a top 10 coach? Probably. I just don't find him at number 3.
No.
Then looking at this list, I didn't realize how big of a drop off it is at after 7 or 6.
Yeah, I mean,
pretty incredible.
I agree, but Ryan Day, great coach. I do think he's a little too high on this list too. He's getting the success.
He was handed an amazing team. His first year, he literally got Justin Fields in a transfer portal.
Yes, with a number 1 team coming back.
Well, you could say the same thing about Lincoln Riley too. He prays on the transfer portal a lot as well.
Yeah, but Lincoln Riley has done it multiple times. If you can prove you can do it multiple times, I think.
Well, at least Ryan Day's won a playoff game.
He has. You're right, but
against Dabo,
he has. I know.
Trevor Lawrence led Clemson team.
So I'd probably still put Lincoln Riley over Ryan Day, but I wouldn't have Lincoln.
Just off because there's a larger sample size for Lincoln Riley. But what if Ryan Day does it again this year? So then I think you have to think about it.
No, I agree, and I think a playoff win is a huge thing. It's almost it's literally winning a title and then a playoff win. I think those mean a lot, and I agree. Ryan Day did win, and he beat Clemson and Dabo. I think Brian Kelly at 5. Maybe he should stay there or move up to 4. I think his resume speaks for itself.
I think 5. I think he needs to win a playoff game in order for me to move him up past 5.
I agree. I think 5 is actually pretty fair. I think Jimbo Fisher should almost move up to 3. He's it's him, Nick, Dabo.
Dabo, Jimbo, Ryan Day, then Kelly for you for top 5.
No. I'm naming college coaches right now at the national championship that are coaching. Nick, Dabo, Jimbo, Mac Brown,
Ed Orgeron.
And Ed Orgeron, we all can probably agree, is not a top 10 college football coach.
No, I think he caught lightning in a bottle.
Exactly. But there's 5 coaches in college football coaching right now that have won a national championship. And Jimbo has had success. He went to the playoffs the first year. He won a championship. He's been to multiple BCS bowl game or Power 6 bowl, whatever the fuck they're called, bowl games. He just won one with
last year too.
A&M, yeah, had a great year. I think think of your top 10 after, but then I think Jimbo deserves to be moved up higher. Do you guys agree or disagree?
Yeah, he's my 3.
I think similar with Ryan Day, I think this 2021 will be a very telling year for Ryan Day and Jimbo Fisher.
But like Jimbo's won a title.
I understand his past, but like I don't know what we're like. Are we career-wise or just like what have you done for me lately?
He just took to A&M to be the 5 seed.
I understand that, but does that give you top 3?
Who's 3 then?
If I'm going top,
who's your 3?
I would put Ryan Day at 3.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't necessarily disagree with that. I think Jimbo is number 4 though.
I'm not saying he's not a top 6 or 7 head coach. I think 6 is a perfect spot. I think you put him over Brian Kelly.
You can or can't?
Can.
Yeah, I definitely. He's 100% over Brian Kelly.
Yeah, I think
he's my 3.
If you said Jimbo Fisher was 5 and Brian Kelly was 6, I wouldn't blink or think twice about it.
Kirby Smart at 7.
They're the Notre Dame of the South. I'll just say that.
I don't know. I think differently, dude. Georgia's.
Like they are, but they aren't because they've actually won some big games.
Oh yeah, they have.
So like, I don't think they're Notre Dame of the South then. Like they went to the national title and should have won.
I'll say outside of 2018 or whatever year that was, they're the Notre Dame of the South.
They just won a BCS bowl or a New Year's 6 bowl game last year. So like, I think they win more, and they're 2-0 against Notre Dame. So
yeah, I mean,
I like Kirby. I think 7's good.
Yeah, I think he's a good defensive coach. I think he's a horrendous coach to have on staff.
We'll see how he is in week 1. He plays Clemson.
He does. That'll be a good test. Pat Fitzgerald at 8. I have 0 problem with that. I think, like, a lot of people are like, "What's Pat Fitzgerald doing at Northwestern?" They go 9-3 and lose the Big Ten championship. That's an insane coaching job for you to go 9-3 and lose in the Big Ten championship at Northwestern.
Yeah.
So I agree with that. Matt Campbell at 9. Like, I think he's getting too much hype for 1 year. Like, they were good last year. He's been good, don't get me wrong. But, like, I don't know if I would have him at 9. Dan Mullen at 10. I don't necessarily hate it. I don't necessarily love it. What do you guys think about 9 and 10?
I think it's really hard to switch Mullen over Campbell just because Mullen's been there, 2 or 3 years now?
At Florida?
He's been there 2.
2?
I think.
I mean, this year, if Dan Mullen does like another 10-win, 11-win season, contends, I think you can put Dan over Matt Campbell.
I mean, Dan Mullen had a great 8 years at Mississippi State.
Oh, fuck. He's already been at Florida for 3 years. 10-3, 11-2, 8-4.
Yeah, Mississippi State, though, he was pretty good, too. So, like, yeah, 10-3, 11-2, 8-4.
Yeah, I would probably put Dan Mullen over Matt Campbell, to be honest.
Yeah, I think Matt Campbell's so high just because of potential. Because he's good.
Everyone loves him.
He's good for his yearly win against Oklahoma or Texas.
Or Texas. Agreed with that.
Honestly, I think I'd put Paul Chryst in my bottom of the top 10.
All right, go through your top 10 right now.
Top 2 easy: Saban, Sweeney, Ryan Day, Lincoln Riley, Brian Kelly, Jimbo Fisher. I mean, honestly, I think the top 8 is fine. I mean, maybe switch some things around. Fisher, Smart, Fitzgerald, I'm okay with. I'd go Paul Chryst and then Dan Mullen.
Paul Chryst and Dan Mullen. All right. I would go Nick Saban, Dabo, Jimbo, Ryan Day, Brian Kelly at 5. Number 6, I'd have Lincoln Riley. I'd have 7 Pat Fitzgerald, 8 Kirby Smart, 9 I'd have Dan Mullen, and 10 I'd probably have like a tie between dude, like I don't know, man. These kind of are like Paul Chris is not a bad one. Now that you said that, though.
I mean, he has 2. Won the Cotton Bowl, won the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
They did lose in the Rose Bowl, but it's still an appearance.
Yeah, but it wasn't like they got blown out. They easily could have won that game.
No, they played Oregon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a pretty good head coach, and he's almost always having to play Ohio State in the Big Ten championship.
Yes. Zach, what about you?
I'm gonna go 1 on the list. 1 is Saban, 2 is Dabo, 3 is Jimbo, 4 is Ryan Day, 5 is Kelly, 6 is Lincoln Riley, 7 I'll keep Kirby, 8 I'm fine with Pat Fitzgerald. I'll put Dan Mullen at 9, and then 10 I'll put what's his name, Fickle, the dude from Cincy.
Oh, Luke Fickle. He's a good coach. Yeah.
Yeah. I need to see him in a Power 5 conference before I put him in the top 10, though.
I was just about to say, I think no one would really respect him completely until he moves to a bigger job. Or, I mean, if Cincy has like another 3 straight years of 11, 12 wins, then
their schedule this year is tough too.
They go undefeated this year, they'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah, their schedule this year is insane.
As long as IU and Notre Dame don't shit the bed. But if IU and Notre Dame have good years, and since he goes undefeated, they will make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I honestly think IU is going to fucking stink.
Okay.
I forgot about it. I think you could.
Penix sucks.
There's a debate, I think, for James Franklin and the bottom half of the top 10.
I don't
His
know,
year last
man.
year.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I mean, last year sucked, but I mean, 11-2, 3 11-win seasons, a Fiesta Bowl win.
Yeah, but
I'm not saying it's like guaranteed. I'm just saying I think
last year at a school like Penn State, with how many returning starters they have, to go 1-7 or whatever,
that was bad.
That's as bad as it gets.
That was really bad.
Oh, who would you have, James Franklin or Matt Campbell?
Matt Campbell, 100%.
I don't know. Matt Campbell's good for a good one. He's also good for just a stinker of a loss.
I mean,
it doesn't make any sense.
James Franklin, like, he doesn't always win every game he should.
No, he doesn't. No, I mean, so yeah, it's like I said, it's not.
I mean, maybe for top 10, if you want to right now, you could still take James Franklin because he did win at Vandy. That's impressive. I'll give him that.
If you can win at Vandy, you should be able to win anywhere. Should. Keyword there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
It's tough. I mean.
I think he's such a douchebag.
I don't like James Franklin as like a person.
Honestly, hold on. Let me look up one more stat before we move on.
I mean, like, let's not suck this man's dick. He's had 3 11-win seasons, and then he went 7-6, 7-6, 9-4, and 4-5. That's not like that.
What have you? Yeah.
And if we're talking about Penn State, like Iowa State's one of the worst jobs in the country, and Matt Campbell has a top 15 program.
Well, James Franklin took over a train wreck.
No, he did not. Bill O'Brien had him at 8-4 the year before he left.
I don't know.
Bill O'Brien took over a train wreck.
He did. Yeah.
James Franklin at that point was like able to walk in and be okay. Bill O'Brien had all the bullshit years of like less scholarships and all that stuff. James Franklin walked into.
They couldn't even go to the bowl games that I think when Bill O'Brien was there.
Yeah, and they still won like.
They were both eligible both years, but they couldn't go.
15-9.
Yeah.
In his 2 years, which is pretty crazy.
I'm interested to see what PJ Fleck can do as well.
Oh, he sucks. He's so overrated. He's so overrated. PJ Fleck sucks. Anytime I see any Notre Dame fans saying that's who we should get next.
No, I don't want PJ Fleck.
Anybody that ever wants Brian Kelly out of South Bend as a Notre Dame fan is just
nobody.
It's not. No, that's not the issue, Zach. The issue is that it's going to be a very harsh reality in about 5 years. Whether
there are people who still want Brian Kelly fired.
I know, and they're stupid. They just do
were
that
once
because
one of them. Don't deny it.
No, I was one in 2016. I definitely was one of them. I won't deny that.
Well, I don't really
I
don't really fault you, honestly, because 2016, after that year, it was kind of like, where the fuck is this program going?
You're right. It's what year 7 or year whatever it was, and we're going 4-8.
Yes, with like a returning quarterback who's supposed to be a draft. Like they had a lot of I agree with you. And now since then, he's definitely backed up his talk and has been able to do whatever the fuck he wants.
Remember, I think he's almost 60 years old. He's not going to coach forever. And I think he signed that like a short extension, and I'm pretty sure after that he won't be coaching anymore.
Well, he was the one who always said Notre Dame's a 10-year job, and he's on like year 13.
Yeah, year 12. Yeah,
year 12, and he said Notre Dame, you can't be here for longer than 10.
He's what in the last 5 seasons? He's what the 4th winningest or 5th winningest coach in football.
Well, he's behind Clemson, Ohio State, Bama.
And I know there's always that extra hump that Notre Dame needs to get over, but I think, I could probably do it off the top of my head. Like the teams that he's lost to, or the coaches that he has lost to, it's like Nick Saban, Dabo Swinney. Really, the only stinker in that list of coaches, like Manny Hernandez, whoever was coaching Miami, or is coaching Miami.
Manny Diaz.
Yeah, Manny Diaz. Everyone else is like a proven like winner and like
when in the last few years or
I'm talking about since they turned things around.
I was gonna say they lost to like everyone. They lost to Charlie Strong in 20.
No, I'm talking when they turned things around.
God, Charlie Strong, what a
throwback. Yeah, I mean, what's like they've had good records. You know what have they? Yeah, I agree. Like they've really stepped it up the last few years for sure.
And they just need to win that game. Just the one
postseason. Dude, I don't care what anyone says. I'll even take a New Year's 6 win.
No, they need to get one.
Yeah.
Last year, after they got throttled by Clemson, I just wanted them to go to a New Year's 6 bowl game and actually win because they weren't beating Bama. They had zero fucking chance. So it's like, go. I hope they could go to a New Year's 6 bowl game and play Cincinnati. I don't give a fuck.
That'll never happen, though. It'll never happen.
Probably not.
I don't think they'll ever play a non-power 5 in a New Year's 6 game.
Probably
they're always gonna draw the top dog, the top team that didn't make the playoff. Like if they didn't make the playoff last year, they probably would have. Okay, let's say Texas A&M didn't finish 5. Let's say they finished 6 or 7.
Well, they would have because the ACC.
No one else would have got.
Well, last year would have been the Orange Bowl, no matter what they did, because they were in the ACC.
They would have faced Georgia. They would have faced Texas A&M. They would have faced one of the better teams that didn't make the playoffs.
But to get to the point of saying we are better than everyone but 3 teams, you have to beat the other teams that are right behind them.
No, I get that. But like it would have been fine last year too because they were relatively healthy. Like remember when they played Ohio State in the Fiesta Bowl, I think it was 2015. That entire their defensive line was just like non-existent.
Yeah, what other bowl games have they played lately? Did they go playoff?
They played Iowa State in the Citrus or something, right?
Iowa State playoff, right? Iowa State playoff.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay.
Clemson and Bama in the whatever it was playoff game.
Yeah.
They played LSU twice
in
recent years.
Yeah. Did you guys see Bryce Hall?
Like the video yesterday?
Yeah, it is. Press conference for the fight.
Yeah.
What happened?
So he's fighting this YouTuber. It's like TikTok versus YouTube. I don't know if you've seen any of that, but they're like, it's like all these TikTokers are fighting all these YouTubers or boxing. And
is it this weekend?
I think so, yeah. And him and the guy have been like going back and forth, obviously talking a lot of shit to each other on the internet, and they were like standing next to each other, and they like got in this little scuffle. It broke up into this big fucking thing, and it's kind of, I don't know. Bryce Hall kind of reminds me of Jake Paul, to be honest with you. Not as big of a following and not as big of like a celebrity, quote unquote, but like
he's still dating Addison Rae.
No,
I don't think so. But like,
there's a shot.
I don't know. Like honestly, she's like one of the main attractions at like the VMAs, and like he's getting into like a wrestling match at like a Triller TikTok YouTuber boxing fight. She's got to be looking like, what the fuck? What did I do?
She made out, or she didn't make out. She kissed her co-star on stage during the MTV.
But like, I mean, that means nothing. But like, she had to see that video on the internet.
Well, no, I guess like Bryce Hall was just like pissed about it too, which is funny.
I don't think he actually is pissed. I think he knows he'll get like attention if he tweets something when it happens. I don't think he truly cares. But yeah, so that's this weekend. Do you guys think the whole YouTuber thing for boxing's good for boxing or bad?
I think it's good.
Good. Boxing's dead.
If you can get in the news,
boxing is literally dead.
If you can get in the news for like good drama, which I would consider this good drama, as long as it's not like full of scandals or whatever. I think it's good.
Jake Paul is a
Tyson Fury has been saying he's like Jake should box my brother. I think it's great for the sport. It's bringing stuff. It's only made the Canelo fight bigger. It's only going to make my fight bigger. So like I agree. I do think it's good for the sport.
I think people just hate Jake Paul so much as a person, which is why they're saying it's hurting boxing.
I completely disagree.
I think he's putting on a front. You cannot be that big of a douchebag.
No, everyone who says it's bad for boxing says because he's not a boxer, not because of like anything he does. Like there's piece of shit boxers. Floyd Mayweather beat the fuck out of his wife. Like,
yeah, Jake. That's why Logan said he's 50-1.
Like, so I don't think they say it's because he's a YouTuber. I think they don't like those kind of athletes don't like. Could you imagine if people were just calling out NBA players and then like beating them, or like guys who are like trying out for the NBA? Obviously, it's a way different thing, but like, essentially that's kind of what it is. Like, so they're just getting disrespected in their sport. So like, they're probably just like, fuck these people.
Is the Mayweather Jake Paul fight like a legit fight? Like Logan Paul, is that like going to Floyd's record?
Probably, yeah.
I truthfully don't know.
So I think that small detail will tell you what's going to happen. If it goes to his record, I doubt it lasts 2 rounds. It won't last the entire fight anyway. And if it doesn't go towards his record, you're probably going to see Logan Paul win.
No fucking chance.
I don't think Floyd would let him win, record or no record.
Yeah,
maybe not win, but it'll probably go the distance.
I still don't see it, dude.
I think
Floyd does not give a fuck about.
I disagree. I think it.
I don't know.
I think they would make more money if Floyd knocked him out.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think anyone would be like, why the fuck did I buy this fight if Floyd knocked him out?
There's no way Floyd.
You're right about that, but
fuck around with a YouTuber just to go the distance. Like Floyd doesn't give a fuck.
Because usually it's much Joe. Just as long as he gets paid, he doesn't care what happens.
I don't know, dude. Floyd gives 2 fucks about clout.
I completely
probably different story is because he's one of the best boxers of all time.
I completely disagree. Like I think like the Ben Askren thing, I think everyone's like he took a fall. I think he did get hit. Like, dude, the guy's not a fighter anymore, and he was never a boxer. Like, I don't think
he's a fucking wrestler.
Yeah, that's what he was in UFC. Like, he never stood up, which is like I don't understand why people are like he was fat. Like he gained. Like people don't understand. Like Logan Paul's way bigger than Floyd Mayweather. Like,
oh god, yeah, he has to drop to like 190 for the fight, doesn't he?
Yes, but like no actual boxer. The moment they stepped in that ring, depending on training, now that's the only difference, but it seems like Floyd is taking his training very, very seriously. That's the only difference. But like the first time these guys get hit, their instinct is to kill, and there's no way they're letting up being like, I don't really care. It doesn't go against my record. No, not just Floyd Mayweather. Any true boxer.
Yeah. Your competitive nature just comes out too.
And it's their life is boxing. Like, I don't think they would never, like, Ben Askren is not a fucking fighter anymore. He's never been a boxer. Now, if Jake Paul wrestled him,
Ben Askren,
but Ben Askren would have taken it way more seriously too.
Yeah. There was also like a clause in that fight. If Ben Askren were to ever like do anything but a boxing move, all his money was taken away, all his purses.
Yeah. So he probably was very careful on what he was doing too. So,
and it's hard to like. He was a Olympian wrestler for, I don't know, however old he is, probably 20. He's in his 30s, I think. that he's done that for years where he just takes guys to the ground. That was also a huge difference for him trying to train for a true boxing match where like if you get hit, I'm going to take you to the ground. Like he couldn't do that. Like
for sure. And
I bet on Jake Paul for that fight.
He also hasn't.
It was the biggest money in the world.
He also hasn't fought a competitive fight in like 2.5 years. Like people forget that. And he's or maybe it's like a year and a half, but he's coming off of like major hip surgery a year ago. So it's like this dude is not ready to fight at all.
I mean, everyone knows him in the UFC for getting knocked out in 6 seconds by Masvidal.
Yes, and he didn't get to fight in the UFC until he was like damn near past his prime. So so that kind of sucked for him. So, but all right, that wraps it up.
Robbie.
That wraps it up. Any last words from either of you?
Go Bears.
I don't know. That boxing thing is interesting. I feel like they're getting YouTubers. They're probably gonna see like Twitch streamers get into that thing next.
Oh God!
What if Nick Merckx started doing that stuff?
I don't think Nick Merckx needs that money.
No, none of them really need it. But...
Yeah, I was gonna say that, dude. They're getting paid. Like Jake Paul's richer than Nick Merckx.
Oh yeah.
They're getting paid a buttload of money though. Like
I'm saying, Nick Merckx is like married.
I don't think Nick Merckx cares.
Yeah, he's married, has 2 houses in Florida and Michigan.
I don't think it has anything to do with
plays video games.
I don't think it has anything to do with his wife or anything. I just don't think he cares. Where like Jake Paul wants to be in the spotlight. Like most of these guys who are fighting want to be in the spotlight. I think Nick Merckx doesn't and just likes his.
Well, I just used him as like an example.
No, I know. I'm saying Nick Merckx specifically, but like I don't know. You probably will start to see more people do like if the money's there and like they get on an undercard and stuff. Like you probably will see these guys start to do it more.
It's cool. I mean, I'd rather see that than watch. Good Lord, like I don't know, cornhole on ESPN.
What about
but you'll never watch all this stuff is pay-per-view, which sucks.
I know, but it's
what about like game 102 of
But all right, let's wrap it up. All right. We'll see everyone next week.
All right.
Peace.